Good morning, Wellness Way Culture. Appreciate you guys joining with us this morning. I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time before they get on, and we'll just see who joins us. But while we're waiting, I just want to go ahead and maybe do some house cleaning before we get started. If you missed last night, we had our Wellness Way approach to inflammation. Man, what an exciting night we had. We had about 35 people with us last night who were taking steps to change their lives. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's not just some cliche things that we say on a regular basis. I kid you not, it was a life-changing event. Every time somebody takes those steps to, change the way they think, and that's what we challenge them in each time we do these talks, is to take what you've always done and question it. Is it getting you to where you want to be? So this is just another reason I like to get these videos out and help educate you guys, and also just share the truth, because there's a lot of junk out there that you guys have to weed through that makes it a challenge for you to really understand, is this true? Hey Pete, thanks for joining us, appreciate it. Again, don't forget, comment and share. Appreciate you guys out there helping us build the Wellness Way culture, and that's, again, that's what we want. We want to create an environment where we all share in the same beliefs when it comes to where health comes from, what we're going to do to get to where we want to be. And so we rely heavily on you guys being able to help get that message out to the rest of the people here in Missouri and across the United States. So house cleaning real quick. Last night I had everyone pull out their smartphones. So if you're on your computer, go to Maxwell Family Chiropractic. You probably already know where that's at, obviously, if you're following us live today, so we appreciate that. But if you scroll down, you come across to a place where it says community, and in there you can have the opportunity to share our page with all your friends. So if you get a chance to do that, go in there and just hit invite, and send them this information, all right? They may not even be here in Missouri, but they may like the information they hear, and they can connect with Wellness Way offices all across the nation. And they're on a regular basis, we're opening up new clinics where people can go and figure out what this, we don't guess, we test model is. Today is going to be part one of a 4-part series about cholesterol, as we kind of build some momentum going forward about our event in January on the 11th. It's going to be about cholesterol. We're going to be kind of dispelling the myths of cholesterol, and how cholesterol has basically been the scapegoat for many, many years. And it's just become a very hot topic. And so we want to make sure, again, we're getting you guys some very truthful information that's out there, and just having a better understanding about what cholesterol is. Honestly, when we talk about cholesterol, I think it really rustles up a lot of fear for many people. And because one of the first things they think about is heart disease, they think about death. Can I die if my cholesterol gets too high? And so I want to let you in on a little secret, okay? Whether you're on this drug or not, you're going to die. I'm going to die. We're all going to get there, okay, eventually. But my question and my challenge to all of my clients, to myself personally, is how well are you going to get there? In a group of friends that I meet with regularly, as we're just challenging ourselves, to be better men every day, is, are we going to die on purpose? I don't want to go through life by default. I want to get where I want to be on purpose. And so every day I'm doing things to get where I want to be. Well, we got to do the same thing when it comes to health, and to not make decisions based out of fear. And when it comes to cholesterol and heart disease, that's a big topic that really puts a lot of fear into people. So I love this quote really from the movie Shawshank Redemption. It says, "Fear can hold you prisoner, hope can set you free." So that's why, again, we do these videos. I believe truly the information that we share with you is going to let you guys have some freedom, because you know that there's other options out there. Because these drugs that many of the medical community are putting on to people really create a environment of fear. Because the people that I talk to, and encouraging them to educate themselves about the side effects of this, they don't want to get off of it because of fear that they will die. And we're going to take a different approach at the Wellness Way, because we want to help put the control back into your hands. It's your health, it's your body. And this magnificent body can do some amazing things when there's nothing being interfered with. All right, so the medical approach, or this fireman approach that we talk about in our inflammation talks, are describing this very thing. They want that level of fear so that you become dependent on them when it comes to making a symptom go away or approaching health. All right, we don't want you to make decisions out of fear with the information I'm giving to you. We want you to take control, educate yourself, and to figure out, how can I get my body back to normal? Again, I can't say it too many times. This body was genetically designed to function normally. All right? It makes no mistakes. We're the ones who feed it and put things in it that cause it to adapt to an environment that may take it away from normal. All right? So I go through all of that to just help you, again, change your thinking, bring it in line with this wellness way approach of just asking questions. Why? In the first place, would my cholesterol ever rise to begin with above maybe a normal level? And again, that's very relative, because we want to know what's basically normal for you. All right? We don't want to put everybody in this category that you need to be 200 or less. So let's move along here. So today, challenge yourself. Can you move out of this thinking of fear, which is holding you prisoner when it comes to your health, and let's move into a state of hope so that you can be set free and move forward. So first of all, cholesterol is not a fat. All right, I like what it says here. If you look it up, it's an unsaturated steroid alcohol. All right, so it's a waxy solid. So when it becomes, when you think of waxiness, most people think, oh, it is kind of a fat, but it's not. It's a precursor to fat-soluble vitamins and to steroid hormones. Okay, so that right there is very, very important. But we're going to look at the brain to begin with. Okay, so when you look at the brain, a large portion of it is made of cholesterol, and it's needed for the brain. So obviously, if it's being made by the liver and it needs to be in the brain for that normal function, it only makes sense that we make sure the brain continues to have what it needs. So when we think of cholesterol, what are some of the common medications that are decreasing that? Well, most people are very familiar with statin drugs, okay? And what that's doing is basically blocking an enzyme that allows those chemicals to actually make cholesterol. So some of the common ones that we see, okay, we've got simvastatin, which is known as Zocor. We got rosuvastatin, which is Crestor. Lovastatin, which is Mevacor. You got fluvastatin, Lescal. That one I wondered if maybe they were trying to combine the flu vaccine and cholesterol-lowering drugs at the same time. Pravastatin, Pravachol, pitavastatin. Okay, I mean, these are just some of the top ones that they're using here in the United States. All with the intent of basically getting your cholesterol to lower itself. Now, some of them have different focuses on maybe lowering LDLs, some working on raising HDLs, some maybe hitting up a little more of the triglyceride aspect, but the common theme when you get on and read about this, and this is what's always interesting to me, is they all, put their little disclaimer out there that with proper exercise and proper diet, that's going to help this drug work better. So by nature, they understand that there's a huge link between our lifestyle choices. All right. Now, unfortunately, there's many people that they don't want to make a lifestyle choice improvement, so they tend to just go with the drugs and think they'll get the quick fix. But you'd be better off making your poor choices and living with those side effects than taking the risk of these side effects, because we need cholesterol for so many things. So let's think about it. When you think about disease and conditions, what conditions of the brain come right to mind? All right. I obviously gave you the answer, but I bet before I even had it up there, you knew what was going on. All right. Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think those conditions are declining or on the rise? And if you want to comment on the section, go ahead. I'm going to tell you anyways, both of those are on the rise. And you can even get online and look at what they are now calling type 3 diabetes is a big time link to the Alzheimer's and dementia. We'll save that for another topic, but you'll understand why it's important to have healthy amounts and normal amounts of cholesterol in your diet. So let's look at Alzheimer's and dementia. So if we're taking a drug that's lowering cholesterol, which is needed in the brain, do you think there's any correlation to the rise of Alzheimer's and the rise of dementia? Okay. So again, question what you've always been taught about the body. Okay. Again, the liver, which makes cholesterol, was never designed to make and produce anything bad for your body or for your heart. All right. So you have to ask yourself, why is my cholesterol going up or down to begin with? What is something coming into my body or outside of my body that's causing this change to occur? All right. So let's see what Stephanie Seneff said. This was something she wrote in a blog back in like 2011. And I love her line of thinking. She's just trying to find out, is the research really proving that cholesterol lowering drugs are increasing, or decreasing an individual's risk for heart disease? And here's what she's finding. So how can a drug that interferes with the synthesis of cholesterol, a nutrient that's essential to human life, possibly have a positive impact on health? Nobody qualifies for statins. They are best described as toxins. I can't agree with that more. So chew on that today as you begin to question what you've always believed about health and well-being, and especially about cholesterol. So cholesterol, on our next point, number 2 here, is it's very critical for nerve function. All right. Now, 3/4 of the myelin sheath membrane is made of fat, and the other 1/4 is made of cholesterol. So it allows those nerve impulses to travel. Okay, I mean, basically the nerve system is just like, these electrical cords in our houses and out in the street. It's carrying information, it's carrying, charges and power to and fro from the brain to the rest of the body. And so in order for this information to, travel appropriately, we have to have this sheath around the nerve called myelin that allows those electrical impulses to travel wherever it needs to go, and to do it in amazing speed. Okay, so the interesting thing is, obviously cholesterol needs to be a part of that sheath to keep it healthy. So if there is a drug that you're on because it's going to lower your cholesterol, what do you think then would ultimately happen to your nerve system? If you don't have enough cholesterol to make sure that this myelin sheath and membrane are working correctly, how is that going to affect the nerve system? Okay, go ahead and comment if you know a possible thing, how the nerve system would be affected by no cholesterol. Write it in there. All right, what conditions do you know affect the myelin sheath? I bet there's at least 2 of them right off the bat most of you know. Okay, one was named after an old baseball player. All right, ALS, I think it's called, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a big tongue twister there, and multiple sclerosis. Those are the 2 big ones that we see that are affected by the myelin sheath of the nerve system there. So, coincidence? Are we seeing a rise or a decline in either of those conditions? Okay, yes, we are seeing a rise in both of those conditions as we see a rise in the taking of cholesterol-lowering drugs. So my question is, could there be a correlation? Okay, I think that's a pretty obvious answer to that question. I believe there's a strong correlation to the rise of those 2 conditions and how we see the rise of the use of statin drugs continue to be a problem here in the United States. Hey Nancy, thanks for joining. So neuropathy, that's another one that we see big time in our practice, is a lot of people dealing with neuropathy. And unfortunately, diabetes has kind of been the scapegoat for that, or other neurological conditions like stenosis, where you get a permanent narrowing around your spinal cord, affecting not only nerve flow, but blood flow. So again, let's just step back and be asking questions why, instead of just throwing drugs at people and having them, make some of these symptoms go away. And lastly, cholesterol increases in response to infection, chronic infection, food allergies, and trauma, which causes inflammation. Okay, I think by now most of you know the Wellness Way approach. We take inflammation very serious. So on average, most people, they go to their doctor for a wellness checkup to get some, routine medical blood work, and obviously they're going to have a typical, metabolic profile done. They're going to look at their cholesterols, their ratios, triglycerides. So that comes back and they find out cholesterol's high, LDLs are high. One of the first things they want to do is put you on the drug, and we had a whole list of them in our previous slides, without ever asking the question of why. Okay, and there may not even be on your panel a rise in any of the neutrophils, leukocytes, any red blood cells. None of that may even show abnormal if you even had an infection. Sometimes it could be an infection in your gut. It could be somewhere else underlying, maybe even in your teeth. Okay. Also, your food allergies affecting and creating inflammation in the gut. Those are all very common reasons why you see an elevation in triglycerides, an elevation in LDLs, an elevation in just your overall cholesterol. Because if this is going to rise in response to an infection, what system is being involved? Your immune system. So cholesterol is very important for that. Whether you've injured yourself or you have some type of inflammatory response to the immune system, the liver is going to respond by sending cholesterol because we need it to heal. So there really is, it's not rocket science. When we see an elevation in cholesterol, one of the first things we should be asking is, well, why is it rising? Is it due to inflammation? And is that inflammation due to an infection? Is it due to a food allergy or some other stressor that's creating a problem in our body? And when it comes to stressors, what is the Wellness Way approach to all of that? Okay, in regard to cholesterol and everything else we look at, it's about the 4 T's. In regard to the Wellness Way approach, our 4 T's are, let's test, let's not guess, all right? We want to know about your traumas, we want to know about toxins, and we want to know about thoughts. Because guess what? All 3 of those, in some form or fashion, are going to influence cholesterol. A traumatic event, whether it's a sports injury, a cut, an inflammation issue in your gut due to some stress there, the liver's going to respond by making more cholesterol to go heal and deal with that. Toxins, okay, again, that can put stress on the liver, that can put stress on your body and create inflammation and damage there where the body's going to have to respond. And in the same regard to thoughts, how well are you dealing with your stress? And so when you take all of that into consideration, you begin to step back and ask the question, why is my liver responding in this fashion? It makes a little more sense than to automatically go to drugging yourself. So appreciate you guys being with us today. I really hope you'll join us for the 3 other sessions that we're going to be doing as, again, we get ready for Dr. Gregg's event on January 11th. Okay, I love this quote right here. Again, this culture we're trying to create is to get you guys out of your comfort zone and to get you going to the next level spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Because all 3 of those combined are what give each of us our ability to get back towards normal. Okay, you can't be good in 1 and terrible in 2. You can't be good in 2 and terrible in 1. You got to be doing your best. Hey, Dave, thanks for watching, buddy. Hope you made your call to Dr. Stacy to get some things checked out for yourself. But man, you have 2 options really. You're either going to get busy living or you're going to get busy dying. Okay, we all know we're going to die. So my challenge to you is you're going to die on purpose or you're going to die by default. Are you going to settle for where you're at, taking 5, 6, 7, 10 medications and just barely existing through life? Or are you going to get off of that junk, let your body get back to its roots? It's been designed to be normal, and it's not uncommon for people to be in their 60s, 70s, 90s without drugs. It's being done, all right? We live it, and we have clients that live it. You just have to step up to the plate and make a decision that you're going to get busy living versus getting busy dying. So I hope you had fun watching this. Again, comment and share on these videos, share them with your friends. We'll look forward to seeing you guys next week as we go to part 2. And please continue to be a part of the Wellness Way culture. And we look forward to seeing how many of your lives are going to be changing on a regular basis. Make it a great day.